So hello and welcome everyone. I'm Rebecca, the Education and Technical Director for Simply Organic Beauty, and I want to welcome you to our webinar today. I also have Tracy, my Technical Manager, with me today as well, and we're going to cover the revolutionary Hnectar Color Infusion and Hair Plumping Treatment. This is the hair color you've been waiting for, and if you want to choose between fashion and health, this is what's for you. So I also wanted to try something different today. So as long as you're paying attention, we've got a couple slides in the presentation that are going to have questions to them. So the minute you see that and you can answer the question, the first one will win a prize today. We'll have a few interspersed into the presentation. So if you're paying attention, you should win some fun prizes. The Oway Hnectar color treatment uses green chemistry to permanently color the hair. We call it the purest color infusion and have it wrapped in amber glass bottles to protect and preserve these valuable, reconstructing, and pure coloring treatments. Hnectar is a color infusion inspired by the pureness of without and is a formula that you will find minimizes sensitivity risks while giving back to the body softness and brightness to your client's hair fabric. With 34 glossy shades to choose from, this beautifying color nectar formula is free from ammonia, PPD, resorcinol, alcohol, perfume, and mineral oil. So you know that alcohol, ammonia-free, keeps the well-being of the stylist and client. PPD-free is to reduce the risk of contact allergies. Having no resorcinol reduces the possibility of scalp sensitivity. Being alcohol-free gives you the highest level of scalp protection and hair protection. Perfume-free provides a highly hypoallergenic treatment, and mineral oil-free is for milder hair coloring. Oway's Hnectar is a completely different type of product and cannot really be compared to or likened to anything on the market today. It's a hybrid of permanent hair color treatment and a rebuilding restorative treatment. It's perfect for a truly reflective coverage of 100% gray hair types, and it doesn't give hair that harsh, opaque coverage that you often see from traditional colors. The hair is consistently improved progressively with each use. The formula is highly tolerable for the hair and skin and even has an anti-aging and anti-inflammatory effect on the scalp. It also has the ability to lighten the hair 2 to 3 levels when using the appropriate developer. So it's pretty exciting benefits all around. When you're trying to determine who the Hnectar color treatment is for, I suggest targeting clients that prefer a delicate color infusion that has a natural reflective coverage, have sensitivities to traditional hair color, suffer from previous damage to their locks, or are seeking a healthier alternative since the Hnectar formula is without the typical chemicals found in traditional hair color. Similar to the iris of the eye being unique to each individual, hair is like each person's unique fingerprint too. Each of our clients have different DNA and an entirely different style. They should all be given a personalized experience, and Oway has designed the holistic color Hnectar to reflect each person's style. Hnectar contrasts that which is artificial and highlights that which is naturally sophisticated. Hair plumping with image rejuvenation. It's perfect for those holistic colorists that want a tool to take them to the highest level in the beauty world. So how does this awesome color technology work? Well, Hnectar is a nectar-based premium hair color that utilizes the ability of sugars to increase cell hydration while reversing the aging process. These nectar cells, or green sugars, capture water molecules and rehydrate areas of the hair fiber that need it, while also creating reserves, or moisture, which make for long-term softness, shine, and youthful glow to the hair. So let's talk about the nectar complex. The sugars contained in the nectar combine with specific properties of the plants and they brighten, nourish, protect, and revive the hair fiber during the color service. A fluid sugar-based concentrate of biodynamic elderberry, organic mallow, and papamiel nectars which reconstruct the hair fiber from the inside out, giving it tone and shine. At the same time, it acts on the hair coloring and lightening to achieve the extraordinary vibrant reflections that look absolutely natural. So we're going to look closer at these active ingredients that make this color so unique. So the biodynamic elderberry nectar serves to brighten and revitalize the hair fiber. Biodynamic farming takes organic to a new level and standard as it considers man, land, and the cosmos in its farming practices. There is zero use of synthetic chemicals, and the ingredients are produced with the highest quality, full of therapeutic functions. This active ingredient, elderberry, is an original plant of Europe, Asia, and America, often considered sacred and magical. In hair cosmetics, elderberry makes hair bright and shiny and consequently are ideal remedies for dull, lifeless hair. It also promotes longer, healthier hair, and it aids in treating hair loss. So that's pretty important there to have as an active ingredient. Organic mallow nectar has a rich polysaccharide, rich mucilage or content that gives mallow a soothing, anti-inflammatory, and softening function. It is excellent for sensitive skin and reduces any irritation as it has a decongestant and anti-inflammatory action. It also enhances elasticity, giving a more youthful appearance to the hair. Papamiel is a small shrub of tropical origin. The nectar from the plant is a fluid made up of a mixture of sugars, vitamins, and amino acids. Through this high concentration of sugars, sucrose, fructose, and glucose, it adds deep hydration and provides comfort to the scalp. Through its contents of minerals, amino acids, vitamins, and essential oils, it also revives the hair, making it super soft and shiny. Fair trade yerba mate is an antioxidant and anti-radical ingredient in H. nectar. Also known as green gold, since its infusion has for many centuries been used by different tribes as an elixir of life, health, and vitality. Scientific studies confirm that this ingredient is a sweeper of free radicals and are responsible for cell oxidation. It protects the hair against oxidatives and stresses and retains cell vitality. This ingredient also adds luster and sheen to this hair strand while allowing it still to have its bounce and volume. It also is really strengthening those hair follicles, which enables the hair to stay active and healthy, and also aids in restoring natural hair color while reducing hair loss. Very important. Also known to promote hair growth. Now, it contains B complex, vitamin C, and it's 90% more antioxidative than even green tea. The active ingredient cotton protein is strengthening, but also moisturizing and nourishing. So it's improving elasticity in the hair. It can also prevent the hair from feeling dry. And what is very important is that the ceramide concentration of this ingredient is a 54%, which helps the lippy fatty material that's between that cuticle and cortex. So this ingredient is helping to bind that cuticle together, so it's helping to make the hair shiny and flat so that the color is very, very reflective. H. nectar can be used as a semi, demi, or a permanent hair color system and can be used with any of the H catalysts or the H tone developer. It has the ability to lift when using the proper H catalyst. You would want to typically use the H Balance Professional system in your holistic service to effectively close the hair cuticle. Now, the H Milk No Stress can be mixed in equal ratios to make the H tone more a 5 volume for creating more of a semi-permanent result too. So as you can see, the H Nectar color has a range of coloring abilities that you can ideally use in your salon to create a multitude of healthy color options. So here's our first trivia question. So the first to answer this and type it into your box there on the side, how many types of nectars are in the H Nectar complex? We'll give you a second, and then we're going to go on with our presentation. But remember, stay with us till the end for a chance to win the Simply Organic Grand Prize package. So what are the families of tones offered in the H Nectar family of 34 shades? So this slide shows you the numerical offerings of the tonal families. We're going to break into each of these series for you next, but do notice that these are in a numerical value. So when you receive your glass amber bottles, you're going to see a numerical system similar to H color where the level is before the tone. And after the decimal point, you'll see the tone reflectives. So the 0.0 is our natural series in H Nectar. So notice that these are all located in the center of the color wheel, and this series are true naturals with equal parts of red, yellow, and blue. They start at a level 3 on up to a level 9. Then we have the 0.1 ash series, and these have also been given descriptive words with these as well. So we have levels 4 through 9 here, 4.1, 6.1, 8.1, and 9.1 of our ash series. These can all be intermixed with one another in the H Nectar family of 34 shades. So you can always mix an ash to control warmth and so on. So now our cinnamon series, where the reflect is first gold and after copper, and this is our cinnamon series, level 6 and 8. Our cafe series, 6.35, and our wheat series, we have more of a golden wheat. It's a 0.3, 8.3, 9.3. We also have some darker, deeper levels at levels 5, 6, and 7. So we have a 0.66 cayenne, and that's in levels 4 and 6. So you can get these nice bright red, copper, brown, whatever you need. When you want to add these 0.66, you're going to be adding the reflective red in a double. We have a 0.8, our level 1. So you have a blue-black series, as well as the 0.5 burgundy. Then we have our 0.77 series. These have some violet tones to them. So you can create anything that you want with mixing one another together, especially adding to our natural series if you're looking to cover gray or white hair. So this is our 0.9 maroon glacé, and this is fun because what you'll see here is it's plotted on the color wheel in a little bit of a cooler area, but it truly does come up warm. But if you notice, if you are coming from a level, a darker level, and you want to control a little bit of that warmth, you could add this 0.9 in. It does remain warm, but it can control some of the cooler tones. That's why it's plotted as it is on the color wheel. Our Desert Sand series is beautiful in levels 6, 7, and 9. And it has both ash and gold as the reflex here. Our double 4 saffron series, that gives you double copper. And then notice below our 0.77 blueberry group that we talked about having some of the violet in there. So now Tracy's going to go into different ways to mix the Hnectar for different types of applications for your clients. So here's Tracy.
Hello everyone. So let's talk a little bit about how we're going to mix our Hnectar. In contrast to H-color that sometimes can be mixed at a 1 to 1.5 ratio, with your Hnectar you're always going to be mixing at a 1 to 1 ratio. So the first thing we're going to talk about is tone on tone. So let's say you have an existing level 7 and you're going to be using a level 7 on them. We would just simply use our H-tone, our 9 volume, at a 1 to 1 ratio, applied scalp to ends, and process that one for a total of 30 minutes. In our next scenario, let's say that we had a virgin application. I like to think of this as like if you were doing a virgin bleach application, because let's remember that Hnectar does have the ability to lift 2 to 3 levels. So if our objective is to be lifting 2 or 3 levels, we don't want to get hot roots. So we're coloring virgin hair, and we're going to either use the 20, 30, or 40 volume, depending on how many levels we want to lift, at a 1 to 1 ratio. And so using our appropriate developer, we're going to apply mids to ends of the hair for 10 minutes, and then using the appropriate volume, which is probably going to be your H-tone 9 or your 20 volume, you're going to apply that to the scalp or the root area so that, again, we don't get hot roots. We're going to process this for 25 to 30 more minutes for a total of 35 to 40 minutes. Now let's say we're doing a retouch. We've already done her once before and we're going to retouch, so we're just doing the root area. You're going to use your 20, 30, or 40 volume, depending on how many levels of lift, at a 1 to 1 ratio for a total of 30 minutes. Hnectar can be used for toning pre-lightened hair. You're going to use either the 9 vol, the H-tone, or you could mix the 9 volume with the 20 to create a 15, depending on the porosity of the hair. Again, we have a 1 to 1 ratio, and we would apply scalp to ends, and your total timing is really going to just depend on how much toning needs to happen. So keep an eye on it. And of course, our last, gray hair coverage. So you're going to use 20, 30, or 40 volume, again, depending on how many levels of lift that we're going to do. So using your appropriate developer, apply to the root area first, process for 20 minutes, then pull through the mids and ends for the remaining 10 minutes for a total of 30 to 40 minutes of processing time. Another tip about coloring gray hair, you're going to apply the mixture evenly to the hair without using an excessive amount. It is a liquid color, so we don't need to over-apply, but make sure you saturated the hair. Typical processing time is going to be 30 minutes with a maximum of 40 minutes. For clients with up to 30% white hair, use your apply your desired level and shade. This is just for gray coverage and blending. If they have over 30% white hair, 50% of the color in the formula needs to be from the 0.0 or the natural series. This is where you're going to get your gray coverage from. The more natural series that's used, the less translucent the coverage will be, therefore a less highlighted look.
So here's a tech tip we wanted to bring into play for you. So keep in mind that the same pigment precursors will have different degrees of saturation on different structures of hair. So for example, of course, fine hair has fewer scales or layers, which makes it much easier to saturate and less areas to fill with color pigment. Now, coarse hair has more scales or layers, and that makes it more difficult to saturate at times with more layers to fill. So therefore, the hair may appear lighter or more transparent. So it's suggested that for very fine hair, you could select a half a level lighter, or for thick coarse hair, select a half level darker. Because the lower the level of color, the higher the saturation of pigments. More precursors there to interact with the contributing pigment and the coverage of white or gray hair. So you think of little spaces for fine hair that need to be filled versus more spaces for coarse or resistant types of refractory hair. So keep this in mind when you're formulating. So we frequently get asked specific questions regarding which additional Oway products can be used with the Hnectar system. Now remember that the Hnectar is a very unique color intended to be used with one of the H catalyst or H-tone in equal ratios. However, it is not compatible with hypercolor drops, the H+ boosters or correctors, the 0.0 super bleaching booster, heat from a dryer, or any of the H color tube shades. So these are not compatible with one another. So just think Hnectar and your catalyst. That's all you need. So thinking of the Hnectar coverage, I want to describe this a little more so that it's very clear what you're looking for. We often get used to a very opaque coverage for gray or white hair types, and this is, like I said, a very different animal altogether, a different opportunity on the market now as being an actual color treatment. You can and will get 100% gray or white coverage, but what you're looking at is a little different. So training your eye. You're going to think of the coverage that can be achieved with the Hnectar as being similar to the coverage of a BB cream of makeup. So that's the way BB cream covers the skin, whereas H-colored tube color would be more like a foundational coverage. So here you see some examples. So the results of Hnectar, the color fusion and hair repair treatment, hair is going to look thicker and shinier due to those plumping and restructuring effects of the cotton proteins, the vitamins, the amino acids, the papamiel nectar, and you're going to get long-lasting hydration thanks to the high concentration of those sugars we mentioned and their properties. Hair that no longer requires protein or restructuring treatments because the Hnectar already treated the hair while you were coloring it. All of those active ingredients and all of the items that Oway has put into this formulation really brings this color infusion into a hair repair system as well. That's why you can charge more for it. And we'll talk about pricing here in a little bit. But let's really recap Hnectar here. So it's ideal for clients preferring a delicate color infusion. So it's giving extremely natural results. It's going to make the hair look where it has highlights. It's going to leave the hair looking vibrant, very, very silky. It's great for clients with sensitive scalps or damaged hair types that you want to rebuild and actually do a restructurizing treatment for them. It's great for clients seeking a bright and rejuvenating coverage of their gray hair. It's ideal also for gray blending on men, but that's when you're using that H-tone 9 volume. I get away from calling this a camouflage type of color because you will get coverage. It's just looking more, like I said, the coverage of BB cream versus foundation. It's not that heavy, hard, pigmented, opaque coverage that we have gotten used to for so long. The Italians have really blended this specific formula so that it has this really nice highlighted and very kind of a BB cream type of coverage instead. It's great for those clients that you have with allergies, sensitivities, any breathing problems, as we've dropped any of those toxic chemicals that are unnecessary for coloring hair, especially when you're adding a treatment into it. Clients with compromised or damaged hair due to overprocessing, maybe heat styling, breakage, etc. And then clients experiencing new hair growth after they've had maybe some treatments such as cancer types of treatments that the hair has been broken, and now they're looking to experience some new hair growth because these active ingredients really do help to do that as well. So I do want to mention one thing in this recap as well. If you would never use this or you're new to the line altogether, from an experience level, when I first started using this to cover white hair, I used an 8.0 and an 8.3 to make a beautiful golden kind of weedy blonde. And then as it was processing, it did look dark, especially for a level 8. It's when the color treatment is working at its best, it may appear on the hair as dark, especially if you've saturated well. But don't be scared. Trust the process, and I just wanted to let you know of that ahead of time so that you're not scared and rinse it off too soon. This definitely needs to process 30 minutes at room temperature. No heat needed or required or necessary, but the maximum would be 40 minutes, and that's for extremely coarse refractory types of hair. So typically 30 minutes, longest is 40 minutes. So those are my reminders and the recap of the Hnectar coloring treatment.
So let's talk a little bit about how we're going to sell this hair color to our clients, because Hnectar isn't for everyone. It's important to know who you should market this to. And some of the factors to consider would be, does my client's hair need rebuilding, reconditioning, and color both at the same time possibly? Is my client willing to pay extra money for this service? Does my client have allergies or sensitivities that have been prohibiting them from getting traditional hair color services? And is this client recovering from hair loss due to medical conditions or medical treatments? Because due to its antioxidants and nourishing ingredients, it can promote healthy hair growth, and it has a plumping action. So if they're just getting off of chemo and they have their doctor's approval, and the hair is always very baby fine, short, anything that we can be doing to help give them more body and volume to the hair is going to be greatly appreciated. So this is one instance where coloring the hair is actually going to be doing it good, a very beneficial service. And then, is this client willing to pay more for color and rebuilding treatment in one? So are they willing to pay for this convenience of being able to do both at the same time? So then we're going to talk about pricing, some considerations when you're going to price your Hnectar service. I've broken this down a little bit. For a batch of Hnectar consisting of approximately 30 grams of color and 30 grams of developer, your cost is approximately $7.85, compared to the same batch of color in H color being $4.90. So we have a difference of $2.95, and this really is where the cost of the rebuilding and reconstructing ingredients and benefits come into play, because we're not talking about Hnectar just being color, we're also talking about it being a treatment. So it only serves to make sense that it would cost more money. So don't sell yourself short and charge too little, because there is no additional time needed to do an Hnectar service. You can't really compare Hnectar to H color when it comes to timing, because you are essentially doing two services in one. So it should cost your client more money. Keep in mind that you're providing a unique color service that is saving them time, because they don't have to do two separate treatments, and that convenience is also worth money to clients. They do like to come and see us, but they don't want to be there all day. So I suggest adding a minimum of 25% to your normal color service pricing. So for example, if you're normally charging, let's say, $60 for an H color service, then you should be charging $75 when using Hnectar for the same batch of color, same size batch of color.
So we have trivia again. So we're going to ask you now for the first one that can tell us what is the mixing ratio of Hnectar to the H catalyst. This is for the grand prize. So not only do we have some grand prize winners that we're going to announce here in a few minutes, but we also have today's webinar special. So if you were live and joined us today for the Hnectar color treatment webinar, you also will be given the opportunity to buy 4 Hnectar colors to start out or to increase your stock count, and you're going to get 1 free. Now, don't forget, anybody that needs H catalyst to go with this, you can get any of the developers that you need, whether you need lift or just great coverage, or if you're just looking to tone, make a semi-permanent type of camouflage for those men. Don't forget the H catalyst when you're ordering today, but if you want to call us here in the office, today's the day for the webinar special. So buy 4 Hnectar colors, and you can pick any of those that you would like, whether it's from the natural series, the ash series, whatever. You're going to get 1 choice free. So this is a huge opportunity, a great savings, a great way to try the Hnectar treatment in your salon, and you'll see the reflective, beautiful tones and the way the hair transforms, especially after you do this service for them a few times, you're absolutely going to see and feel that the hair is refurbished from the inside out. I know that my clients are telling me that they feel 10 years younger, and they've been getting compliments as such. So I definitely want to be in the business of making people feel and look 10 years younger at least. So if you are interested in getting on the bandwagon and getting into this market, by all means, please take advantage of this webinar special today and call us here in the office at 888-213-4744. Extension 202 is my direct extension. Also, if you just call in and you want to speak to any of your account managers, they're sitting by the phones and they're happy to help you pick your colors, or any of my technical staffs, Tracy, myself, or any of our team are here to help. So I'm just waiting to get the final winners of our trivia today, and we're going to go ahead and send you some great prizes for being on live with us. So one moment and we'll get those to you. So let us know if you have some additional questions. We are going to stay on chat here for quite a few more minutes, at least for the next 15 to 20, so that we can help answer any questions. I know this is something completely new that we've added to the beauty industry that no one has. Some people see it as a liquid color and they think, oh, it's just a demi. But I'm telling you, I have seen transformation happen for all of the clients that I've used it on. And so I'm sure you will as well. So this is exciting. My friend Sharon Ware won the first prize, and Nicole Stanhursky won our second opportunity. So we've got two winners. This is just to remind you as well that if you do come on our webinars live, they are on Mondays, typically once a month at least, or whenever we need to announce some new things that we're offering for you, the holistic care team out there. And so if you stay on live with us, you get to be involved in our new trivia options as well as our webinar specials. So otherwise, we always record these so that you can get a chance to at least get the knowledge later. And then, like I said, we're always willing to do anything education-wise here for you if you have questions and so forth, or you need additional training. That's what we're here to do. So I hope you've enjoyed our webinar today. Like I said, we're going to stay on and answer some chat questions here for you for quite a while. So stay tuned for more good stuff coming from Simply Organic Beauty. My name is Rebecca Gregory. I'm the Education and Technical Director here for the company. Happy to have a coloring day with you, and thank you for your time. And we have Tracy, my Education Department Manager and Technical Team Advisor. She is here to always answer questions and give you the same expertise that we have here on board. So thank you from all of us.